shape governmental decision-making and popular consciousness. Oh, the mainstream media have become an extension of dominant corporate interests, not to mention government and military agendas. Hardly a recipe for viable democratic politics involving active citizen participation as a structural adjunction to the Pentagon system. The U.S. media have evolved into probably the most significant conduit of patriotism and militarism. La 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 la
Euphemism, a mild expression for something that is disagreeable. By using the euphemism of public diplomacy instead of propaganda, the U.S. information agencies waged disinformation wars on behalf of the Fortune 500. These information agencies are responsible for the cultural imperialism that is taking place in our globalized times.
We know that the average American in all walks of life has a living standard twice as high as the best in Europe, where socialism is widespread, and from 5 to 10 times better than in the communist countries, such as Russia and China. And if we remember our previous lessons, we know that this economic abundance is possible in America because incentives for progress and the other factors built into our dynamic private enterprise system have enabled us to utilize our resources to the fullest extent.
The U.S. state defense budget is 5 times larger than any other country's defense expenditure. U.S. advisors train, equip, and finance military and paramilitary forces in every continent. The U.S. is known to have overthrown numerous democratic elected governments in countries such as Chile, Guatemala, Indonesia, and Mozambique. Its military bases are present all around the world, and it has had wars and military interventions in numbers of countries. And why isn't all this common knowledge in the United States of America? You have a media that is focusing historically on fabricated external threats and trying to train its citizens towards becoming effective consumers.
Unless people are controlled, they will challenge power. The U.S. media presents the public with an entirely mythological view of the world, one populated by foreign demons and evil monsters, always ready to bring great harm to a benevolent, innocent, peace-loving country. Imperial delusion.
My interest was in art as a vehicle for political messages and propaganda and so forth. We do not understand foreign societies and cultures very well, and we don't try very much, unfortunately. And so we live in these mythological concepts and assumptions about other nations. You know, we as Americans constantly bring other nations democracy and liberty and the blessings of culture and civilization, when in fact that is connected with a lot of violence and with CIA and military support, which force upon other cultures something that they don't want, but it is forced on them nevertheless, because American capitalism profits from it, and American political interests, imperialist interests, profit from it.
So, you are the enemy. Oh, I am not supposed to laugh. You've heard that the Japanese do not show their feelings, nor do I have big teeth and thick glasses. How sad to disillusion you, and how easy. Easy because you do not know the Japanese. Tokyo, Osaka, Yokohama, drop your bombs. You cannot destroy Japan by turning cities into blackened rubble, by wiping out a few inexpensive lives. You have not met our workers, have you? Meet them now and see why I laugh. They work long hours than you do, twice as long quite often. Why not? They are not working clock. They are working to win the war. They do not make as much money as you do. Well, they are not working to make money. They are working to win war.
If you repeat a lie enough, it will become a truth. Our system is based on the perpetuation of a flawed set of ideas. Where the system prioritizes money more than lives, and the media bombards us with idiotic proposals and cynicism. To be an affluent 21st century person is to float on a sea of material objects, each with its own history and future. Consumerism plagues our society. The overproduction of goods kept the economy growing with the illusion that resources are vast and endless. By outsourcing jobs and using the Chinese dynamic duo of inexpensive currency valuation and cheap labor costs, our society is able to purchase a ridiculous amount of goods at a very low cost. 70% of the goods at Walmart come from China. Unknowingly and unwillingly, our society is supporting sweatshops, inhumane treatment, and child labor abroad. However, since we don't see this in our own backyard, it is hard to imagine where all the things we handle during the day came from. The cheaper the goods, the better for us and our standard of living. Unaware of the fact that those cheap goods are a result of the exploitation of other people's land, infringements on their country's sovereignty, and the perpetual detriment of their natural resources and environment. The wealth is unevenly distributed in our world. If you were to distribute a pie among the citizens of the world, how big would your piece be?